screen here.
There we go.
There we go. And see it, we're 6 seconds in already. I don't know how it does that, but welcome everyone to Count the Bucket on this beautiful Saturday night. A lot of great football games has happened. Already talked to you a little bit, Nick, about FSU winning. Congratulations. This is like the first win of the season.
To be honest, I can't even remember. It's just been such a hell of a year. I want to say this is our second win, but honestly, who's counting at this point, man? It's already been a bad year. I didn't even watch the game. I didn't watch the game at all today. I'm honestly kind of surprised that we even got a win against North Carolina. I mean, I know North Carolina's not a ranked team, but I mean they're pretty decent in my opinion. So, but we're just trying to coast to the rest of the year, see what we can do.
Like I know preseason, anyways, they were talking kind of high of North Carolina and some of the recruits they had. So I actually figured they would be ranked. That's why I asked you off air if they were ranked, but. Kentucky, my team, they are winning 42-21 over LSU. 4 minutes left, so I'm super stoked about that. We're about to be 6-0. I never thought I could say that too many times with my Cats. I have to say too many times because we did it a couple years back, and it was amazing when we went, I think it was 3 years, 10-win season. That doesn't happen with us. Now, Nick, I'm going to ask you this because I have to. Do you want Mark Stoops back in Florida State?
I'll take anybody at this point. Hell, I'll even take what's the last coach name? Golly, how did I forget his name? Taggart. I'll even take him back at this point. I know the rest of Tallahassee, they wanted him gone like completely, but I was like, he's not even really that bad of a coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just think that, the opportunity was trying to mess up, especially considering the loss of Jimbo, especially how that came about. And then of course, him going into that his first year as a head coach. I just felt like there was a lot of pressure on him. But we just need to rechange everything, the entire football program from start to bottom or from top to bottom, just kind of going in a new direction because since our last championship, and what year was that, 2013, 2014, it's just been some down years. It's been that long. We've had a few other quarterbacks. I know what was the last quarterback in 2016, 17 that got injured against Alabama. Francois ended up getting injured, and then everything just kind of went downhill from there.
I understand, and honestly, as a Kentucky fan, it's so good to finally be a Kentucky team. And that's one thing we actually have said this year. Like Mark Stoops coming up, I think, to his last year on his contract. We're like, are we going to be able to pay him enough? Because I think he's going to be asking for a Brinks truck to come at him. But you know what? Hopefully Kentucky stays with it. I know we're a basketball school, and this is a basketball show, so let's quit talking about football. How about that? Nick, how's your day going? Let me start with that.
It is fantastic, I must say. I mean, I'm definitely happy to be back on with my co-host. My co-host Michael here. We're going to talk some good basketball, and whoever's watching us right now, I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, sir. Now, our whole show today is going to be strictly Eastern Conference rankings. We're going to see who ranks who now, and of course, we'll probably get into a little bit of preseason talk with Nick. And I'm anxious about this and excited because I got it wrote down here. I want to see where I'm at the end of the year and see how close it was. I'm confident about this, actually. I feel good. The only thing that I'm iffy on about 4 different spots, and it's about midway through, actually, in there, around 10 through 7, I'm going to say. And, of course, as I made my list, Nick, I'm sure you thought the same thing. As soon as I wrote down one name, all I could think of was Amber is going to hate me right here.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Of course, that was
the team that she picked, which is the Cavs, to get the 10 seed, they're nowhere near. I'm sorry.
They're no. I actually thought about putting them back one spot from where I actually have them, but I didn't.
Definitely.
But before we get into this very big, I'm going to say this to everyone. As you can see, I hope you can see, we stream this on so many different platforms. We got Twitch, we got YouTube, some Twitter, some Facebook accounts as well, streaming this right now. If you guys are watching through Twitter, please go over to the Unwrapped Sports Network YouTube page and check it out, because where Twitter has switched from Periscope, you cannot leave your comments where we can actually see this. And one of the best things about the show is the interaction with you guys. We love to hear your comments, read your comments, and answer them. So if you hear us make a weird pick on one of these rankings, jump in here and say, Michael, you're a genius, and say, like, Nick, what are you thinking? Because we know that's how it's going to be anyways, right?
I want all the smoke. Please tell me.
I do too. I think, honestly, it makes great content when people interact like that.
And it's just like I tell all my followers on Twitter, like, I'm not going back and forth with the typing when it comes to like certain debates. Mm-hmm. If you want to debate me, get on a podcast, get on a stream, and we can go from there. Even if you want to type it in on the YouTube, type it in for me, and I will definitely respond to it.
Oh, definitely. All right. So, Nick, let's start with 15 through 11. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay. So, starting from 15 to 11, for number 15, I have a lot of people may not agree with this, but I have the Detroit Pistons only because I get it. Cade Cunningham's number 1 pick. They have Killian Hayes. They have Jeremy Grant. They have Isaiah Stewart. They have Sadiq Bey. Detroit has a great young core, but that's the problem. They are young. They are inexperienced. Probably the oldest vet as of right now on that team is Jeremy Grant, who has good playoff experience with OKC and Denver. But besides that, also let me not forget, they also got Kelly Olynyk as well. Kelly Olynyk is a veteran, so let me not forget him. But besides that, they are still relatively young, so I feel like they still have a few more years before they can really become a contender in the East. Mm-hmm. Number 14, I have Orlando. Only reason why is because although I do like Orlando's young core as well, they are injury prone. Obviously, Jonathan Isaac was still battling injuries. Mm-hmm. Markelle Fultz, who shows potential but continues to battle injuries as well. Cole Anthony suffered through some injuries, so that's my only problem with Orlando. They are relatively young, but then again, they are also injury prone as well. Number 13, Amber, don't hate me, Cleveland Cavaliers. I get it. Evan Mobley, Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro. Don't get me wrong, but the East is tougher this year. So
it really is.
Yes, it really is tough. So I just don't see them getting in the play-in tournament. That's just my opinion. And then number 12, this may be a surprise for many because a lot of people really love this team or love this team going into the year.
The
Washington Wizards. I understand they got Bradley Beal and then they traded for Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP. Those guys are, well, except Montrezl Harrell, both KCP and Kuzma are champions. I get that, but it is also about health and chemistry as well with the Wizards. I don't know if Thomas Bryant is going to come back this year or come back even like at the level that he was this past year. They still have guys like Daniel Gafford, who was a tremendous rim protector. But like I said, the East is tough, so I don't know if the Wizards are going to be right there. And then number 11, I have the Indiana Pacers, which is honestly, it's a mix-up because it's like you could put them either 10 or 11 in my opinion, but I feel like they will be in between those two spots right there. Sabonis is a great player. Miles Turner is a great player. Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert. They just got Rick Carlisle as their new head coach, who was a former head coach for the Pacers back during the Reggie Miller days, Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal days, etc.
And he's a champion too, right? With the
Mavs. He is a champion with the Mavs, even though he hasn't gotten past the first round since. But at the end of the day, he is definitely a better coach for them than their last coach, who they actually chose over Nate McMillan, who ended up going to Atlanta and made the conference finals. So,
right.
So
go ahead.
So like I said, Indiana's a good team, but then again, like I said, the East is tough.
Right. Now, of course, guys, the ones that are watching as you tune in here, if you want to drop yours in the comment, your 15 to 11, by all means, go ahead. We'd love to read your comments and see where we're different on that. Now, here's mine. I like yours. I really do. I like yours. So at 15, I have the Magic. I wanted to rank them higher, but I had them there because, again, I feel like they're guard heavy. They just got a lot of players. I don't see how they can actually play them all at the same time, or it's just going to be a weird lineup, I think. And again, injury, like you said, like Fultz, is he going to go back to not be able to shoot free throws, or is he actually going to continue the way he was playing? Like, he had a pretty good season last year, I think, before he got hurt again.
That's true.
And
honestly, not to cut you off, but a lot of people forgot, like last year, like the Magic started like winning like 7 of their first 10 games of the year, the beginning of the year. Like, so people actually forgot about that, even though I still didn't expect them to make the playoffs, but they showed when they're healthy, that they can play at a high level. But again, that's all about health.
Right. And of course they made some trades and everything, but I just feel like Magic's going to come in last. And I hate it because I was like, man, I really don't want to put them. I want to put the Pistons there. But I actually got into some cards this week, and, a bunch of us guys, Kentucky just won, by the way, pitched in and opened up some kind of box. I'm new to all about cards on this, but there were 6 of us guys, bought this big box of cards you couldn't open and reveal and all this stuff. And I got a Bay rookie card from last year, and it's iced out and all this stuff. So you know what? I had to put my Pistons one spot up just for that. So I've got Pistons at 14. I do think they're a little more veteranized, if that's such a word, other than the Pistons, and I do think that's going to help a little bit. I actually think some of your younger guys are going to get to play now. You finally got rid of Blake Griffin. You've got a lineup that actually you can kind of go with on this and actually move for the future. So I think Pistons are going to be a better team. Some of their they had two really good rookies. Again, Bay, and I can't think of the other name.
They had this past year. I know Killian Hayes missed the majority of the year, but even in like the small package that he gave, he had a pretty good year. They have Isaiah Stewart under the basket.
Stewart, that's what I'm thinking of. Stewart.
Yeah.
And then at 13. I agree with you. I'm sorry, Amber, but I have the Cavs at 13. When I thought about the lineup, I almost like, okay, Amber's almost talking me into this a little bit. Should I move them up some? I mean, Sexton, or as they say it, Sexland, which is the weirdest.
I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that.
I was like, what in the world? But okay, sure. I still think Cavaliers are going to try to get Ben, which I think might move them up a little bit. So I got them at 13 just to be on the safe side. I can't go fully committed and join Amber on that. Don't know what she's drinking, but they're not going to be in the top 10. And then at 12, I actually thought you were going to do something different when you said about the team liking them and all this, or players liking this team or everything. I thought you was going to put Raptors there. I was like,
see, that's the thing though, man. Like, see, my thing is I have Scotty Barnes winning Rookie of the Year, and I feel like he's going to play a huge role. Plus, I feel like Toronto is going to be even better this year compared to last year. Because I mean, even though they did lose Kyle Lowry, they still have Fred VanVleet, they still have Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, etc. So they have a great young core that has a little bit of experience, and they're also pretty good defensively as well. So that's why in my opinion Toronto's a playing team.
What do you think of Precious since they got him too?
Precious is solid. He even showed good signings last year in Miami, and then of course the summertime in Nigeria. So now it's all about the rotation, because at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of like Nick Nurse still has Pascal Siakam, still has Chris Boucher. So even though he's not really a true big man, like, could you insert him as far as him playing big man minutes? Now that's also another conversation. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like Precious will give really good minutes for Toronto.
I do too. But with that being said, because I debated about putting Raptors at that 12, I still went with the Wizards. So I agree with you right there. So 13 and 12 were identical as far as Wizards and Cavs at 12 and 13. I'd run that backwards. But at 11, I went ahead and gave the Raptors this spot.
Okay.
I like the Pacers a little bit better, and with Carlisle now, I actually think it's going to put them a little bit more over the edge. They got a veteran coach who knows what to do and how to do, and they upgrade that spot big time. And I think Pacers were hurt quite a bit last year, so hopefully, again, the whole season is all about injuries. Who's going to be better in that? But I'm praying, I guess, that the Raptors or Pacers will be higher than that, and the Raptors will be 11. I was about to keep on going. You want me to go ahead and keep going from 10 to 6 since you went?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so at 10, I do have the Pacers. I don't think they're going to be any better than that. I do think this is a better team, but I think they will be in the play-in game. Now, I'm sorry, fans. I'm sorry, New York, but I have you back at number 9 here. I've got the Knicks at 9, and I know that pushing them pretty far back, but I got to make some kind of bold prediction here. I think Knicks was just on cloud 9 last year. They were super high, playing great, and Julius was a freak last year. Love him, UK player. But I think they're going to dial it back just a tad bit this year. I've got – here's the one, and I'm sorry again, Mark, for this one. I put the Celtics at 8. I hate doing that, but the Celtics, I feel like, regressed last year.
And I keep saying this. I mean, because here's the thing. Like, I've even done like my Eastern predictions for other podcasts, and everybody's saying, "Where's Boston? Where's Boston?" Look, we understand they have Tatum, they have Brown, but they don't elevate themselves to become real contenders in the East. Like, they're not as good as Brooklyn, as Milwaukee. I don't even think they're better than Philadelphia without Ben Simmons, in my opinion. So it's like we understand how good they are as far as like their stars, their all stars, and everything. But as a team, I just don't see them being as good as those other teams that I just mentioned.
Well, good. I'm glad you kind of are with me on that because, I mean, really, what are they besides those two players?
I mean, they have solid. But here's the thing, like they have solid players, like I'm saying, like they just signed Schroeder, which I mean, I think Schroeder will have a pretty good season with them. But then again, he's not Kemba Walker, in my opinion. They still have Robert Williams. They still have Marcus Smart, but that's not going to get you like back to the conference finals, in my opinion.
But Marcus Smart, who I absolutely love. Like, he's one of my favorite players because he's defense. He doesn't do the scoring. And I hate to compare him because I don't like this player. He's Draymond Green of the Celtics. But Draymond Green is that guy, but there's 3 or 4 other great players that are around him. Like Smart is the 3rd best player on this team, in my opinion. Like, if not, sometimes even a 2nd best player in certain games. So I feel like Marcus Smart can't be that good of a guy on this team for this team to be good. So I'm going to keep on moving, just stay off that. I got 7. I got my Hornets. I am high on the Hornets this year. I think Bell is just going to ball. Ball is going to ball. I said Bell. I apologize. I was about to say Melo Ball and put them together. And a full season with him after being out, winning rookie. He didn't win. Did he win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, he did. He won.
Okay. And he missed like 3 months, I think, with a broken hand, I believe it was.
Honestly, that's the thing, because if you remember, Charlotte, before LaMelo got injured, Charlotte was the 4 seed. They were the 4 seed before he actually got – or actually, no, they might have been the 5th seed. I think New York was the 4 seed. So, either way, they were in playoff contention. And even with LaMelo – because here's the thing, LaMelo was supposed to miss the rest of that year. Mm-hmm. And Charlotte was still pretty much, in contention as for, the plan and everything. So once LaMelo came back, everybody saw that opportunity. They were like, oh, heck yeah. Like Charlotte's going to be up there. And honestly, they did make the play-in tournament, but it was just unfortunate to see them get blown up by Indiana in that first game.
So I've got the Hornets at 7. I think it's a build-on year for them. And at 6, I've got the Bulls.
Our list is nearly identical, man. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good because, I try to make a little bit of some changes here because I'm like, I don't want to be like everybody, but you're still going to do that. But Nick, before you go on yours, let me go ahead and throw in a quick sponsor here. Guys, if you like to gamble, go check out actually the show just before us. If you're on the YouTube page, you can actually just stay with Unwrapped Sports Network YouTube and see Bets Unwrapped that just went from, I think, 9 to 10:40-ish. That's why we were a little bit late waiting for them to get off there. But you can go over to mybookie.ag and use our promo code USN100. And your very first deposit, we will actually double as a network your first deposit. If you got $50, we will give $50. If you got $1,000, we will give $1,000. So why not now, right before basketball comes up? And honestly, usually mybookie.ag does some type of promotion with the beginning of a game, like a simple win automatically. I don't think you can put a ton of money on it with that. Like last year before the NFL started, it was Kansas City would lose the first game by 54 points, like a negative 54. And like, obviously that wasn't going to happen. So check it out, mybookie.ag, use promo code USN100. And one thing I'll add on about this is I am not a gambling guy, but I created an account just to kind of see what it was like. And it wasn't all up in your face. Hey, you need to give us your credit card so we can get your information. It was like, okay, thank you for joining. Check it out. You don't have to make money or deposit money yet. So I like that about it.
Definitely. MyBookie.ag. And let me just say, I'm not a gambler as well, but let me just go ahead and put this out. I'm going to give us an upset. I got the Giants over the Cowboys tomorrow.
Don't you say that.
I don't like the Cowboys. No. I need to see them lose every single game.
Wow!
I just don't.
I'm so mad at you.
I'm just not a fan of. To be honest, I don't know. To be honest, I'm just not a fan.
Okay, let me check you on this real quick then. Okay, you're not a Cowboys fan. Who do you like if you watch a little bit of baseball? Like, who do you not like in baseball?
I don't really have a team that I hate in baseball, but it's kind of like you said. I watch a little baseball, but I like the Braves. Okay. And then I like the Yankees as well. So those are probably the two teams that I really root for. Yeah.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say that you didn't like the Yankees, and I was going to say, well, who do you like in basketball? And you're a Miami fan, right?
No, I'm a Golden State fan.
That's right, Golden State. You live in Florida, but you like Golden State, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to hear if you just didn't like any team LeBron played for. I was like, okay, he don't like these top teams. I got you.
Oh man, but
okay, let's hear.
Is it my turn?
10 through 6.
All right, so me and you obviously had 10 and 11 switch. So for 10, I have Toronto. It's kind of like what I said. Okay. Scotty Barnes is my guy. I believe that he's going to win Rookie of the Year. And then again, I feel like Toronto still has a pretty solid team. It's kind of like I said. I understand they did lose Kyle Lowry. That's a big loss. But then again, you still have Pascal Siakam, who will be an All-Star this year and will continue to ascend. You still got guys like OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Chris Boucher, and a few other guys as well. So I feel like Toronto as a team, and plus we know how great of a coach Nick Nurse has been throughout his few years with the Raptors. I feel like he's going to be able, if they're healthy, I feel like he's going to be able to elevate them at least get them playing contention. Because like I said, the East is very tough.
And they'll actually be home this year. Like they didn't get to play a lot of home.
That's true. That is true. I honestly forgot about that. That is true. Mm-hmm. That's definitely true. They were playing in Tampa.
Yeah, I started actually switch and put Raptors at 10 just for that. Like, hey, you're actually home. But I'm like, well, let's just do this.
I know it's tough. And for number 9, I have Charlotte. I know you have them ranked a little bit higher, but I have Charlotte at number 9 just because, I mean, I get it. You know, team-wise, they're great. LaMelo, PJ Washington, Miles Bridges, Terry Rozier, and they just got James Bouknight, who I expect to have a really good, solid season playing alongside LaMelo in that backcourt. But they are still – Hayward. Yes, Gordon Hayward. I can't believe I forgot about him. Gordon Hayward, well, healthy.
That's what's crazy about this team. Is like they're so young, but like every young guy on this team is good.
That's true. That is true. So my thing is, will they be able to pull it together to be able to make a run? So that's why I have them right now as a number 9 seed. For number 8,
my thing that's scary about them a little bit is I feel like if they start good and they're up on teams, they'll be easy to stay ahead.
Oh, definitely. Because I mean, the thing about them is that with a guy like LaMelo, I'm saying they're gonna continue to push the pace and really run in transition. So I mean, honestly, even if you looked at them last year, that was really how they really thrived on the floor, was really in transition. Because especially when you have such great athletic guys, like a guy like Miles Bridges, who you can just really throw a lob to on any occasion. So that's one thing that makes Charlotte so unique is that, when you have a guy like LaMelo running the show, you'll be able to push the pace and really run in transition. Mm-hmm. And for number 8, I have the New York Knicks. It kind of hurts me because I love this Knicks team. I'm sorry, I love this Knicks team, but I kind of have to agree with you. Last season was kind of like a different year, so I'm not saying what they did wasn't great, but now, we're coming into a new fresh year. Now we have actual 82 games, and now, now the season is more stretched out. So I'm hoping that there's not a lot of injuries as compared to last year, but I still think the Knicks will be good. Will be up there. Julius Randle coming off of a very solid season. RJ Barrett's going to have a better season this year compared to last year. And then of course, they signed Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier. They're going to get Mitchell Robinson back, which I think will be tremendous for them. Not to mention veteran presence Taj Gibson and other guys as well. So New York may not be that team that has home court advantage this year, but I feel like they can still be a threat, in the playoffs.
What about Quickly? What do you think about him?
Oh yeah, definitely Quickly. Quickly, in my opinion, is going to have a better year as well. So my thing is, I like him being that backup point guard. Now, I mean, I know you can kind of switch him as far as being a 1 or a 2, but I feel like he's better off being like that backup point guard just because I feel like whenever Kemba Walker, what's that?
He's a spark.
Oh yeah, definitely. So and that's the thing that makes him so unique is that he can continue to get guys involved, and then also if you need him to score, he can do that. So I think that's what makes him so unique. But either way it goes, I feel like he's going to be one of the biggest factors off the bench for the team going forward.
You think he could be 6th man of the year this year?
That could be a possibility. Well, that's the thing as well, though. Never mind. I don't know if he could play the 1 because they still have Derrick Rose. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, so but I mean, he can still be a facilitator oftentimes and really distribute the ball. So he can still be effective either way it goes. So honestly, being 6th man of the year, I'll say this, if he averages around 13, 14, 15 a game, maybe so.
Okay. Just real quick, bringing in that comment from Logan. It looks like A&M possibly might pull an upset over Bama. That would be amazing.
Hey on, what channel is that on?
I'm going to Bleacher Report right now to pull up my Kentucky part here so I can just look at the scores. I guess I can just go at the bottom here.
Oh my God, my Bama fans are going to be angry.
It's 31-27 A&M with 10 minutes left. Well, 10:40 right now in the 4th quarter. So
wow,
Bama's got the ball, but that would be awesome. Wow. Of course, here's the thing with Bama, and well, I ain't going to get on that. If Bama loses, I don't care who they play. They'll move down maybe 3 spots at the most because you got to have Bama up there.
Always. And then honestly, this may be their only loss this year, honestly, or maybe I don't know. They might get another loss too.
Let's see here. I don't know Logan. I don't know what you meant there with the not 6th man. Oh, okay. You're talking about. I thought you were
talking about Quickly.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about a rank. It's like, hey, he ain't said 6 yet, but okay. Yeah. Yes. Now we talking my style. As you can see behind me, I am from Kentucky because I'm sure you can hear my accent, but it happens. So, yeah, big time. Stick with football a little bit. We were ranked 16 and we just beat LSU. Now Bama's lost and someone else lost. Could Kentucky be top 10 next week?
Kentucky's gonna have a good year, both football and basketball, man. So honestly, if you're living on campus, there's a lot to be excited about.
Oh my goodness! If I could be like 15 years younger again and go to Kentucky, like I'm going to Big Blue Madness this coming Friday, so I'm excited
That's
about
good.
that. I don't know if you know what Big Blue Madness is, but it's like
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I live in Kentucky, so when you hear Big Blue Madness, it's what it is. Okay, it's basically introduction for Kentucky basketball, boys and girls, and they do the whole thing like that. It's a great show that they put on. Like I went to it 2009 when Calipari first took over, and dude, it was awesome. Like they had everybody pull up their phones, had an app that we were supposed to download, and it would do something with their lights as everybody was around the whole arena. They put out a big sheet basically over the gym and did like a projector on the floor, and it was just about the history of basketball and how Calipari has made these speeches and different things. Like it is awesome, and you will be hyped if you ever go to anything like this.
That'd be dope. You plan to go on any home games?
I actually, since I'm going to this, I actually emailed somebody from Kentucky trying to see if I could get media credentials. I mean, we're a legit network here, so I was like, if I could pull that off. The only bad thing where I live, I am 3.5 hours, three to 3.5 hours from Lexington, so it'd be a big drive for me basically to go. But if I can get media credentials to get backstage where I can interview and stuff, heck yeah, I'll go to a couple of these.
Oh man, that'll be dope. That'll be super dope.
Oh yeah.
You talking about basketball?
I would say this is football.
Okay, football. Okay.
Well,
I know Bama's going to be tough basketball
Bama's
too.
going to be good basketball too, yeah. But okay, let's real quick. You're on 8. You said the Knicks. I'm writing your list down so we can see where we're at.
All right, so now we're at 7, and this is where I have the Boston Celtics. Okay. Now they may crucify me for saying this, but it's kind of like I said earlier. Boston is great. Tatum is going to have another solid year. I think Tatum will average around 30 a game this year. Jaylen Brown, if he stays healthy, he'll average around 23, 24 a game. Mm-hmm. But like I keep saying, I mean, I get it. You know, they do have a new coach in Ime Udoka, which I expect him to have. I expect him to do a really good job. So now Brad Stevens has moved over to that front office position, but they just continue to not elevate themselves. And here's the thing: I even said this last year, going into last season. I said that Boston didn't elevate themselves, especially with KD coming back. Kyrie was coming back from Brooklyn, and then Brooklyn had just traded for Harden too. I was like, there's no way Boston's better than these guys, or even in contention with these guys.
Oh yeah,
people were like disagreeing with me when I said that then. And then look at them; they barely cracked into the playoffs last year. It took a Tatum 50-point game in the play-in tournament just for them to even get in the spot, and even then, they nearly got swept by Brooklyn. So, I mean, like I said, Boston will be great. I think Boston will be a pretty solid team, but I don't think they'll be up there as far as a top contender in the East. And for number 6, I have the Chicago Bulls. I know a lot of people may have them higher, but I think with the addition of Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, and a few others, obviously they just traded for Vucevic last year. I think this team is going to be great. If you've watched them in the preseason, the way Lonzo Ball is running the show as of right now, as far as being the head honcho, being the point guard for that team, it is fun to watch. He is finding guys on the break. He is finding guys cutting. Oh my goodness, it is so fun to watch. That's why hopefully everything goes well with this team. Chicago will be a team to deal with.
See, that's the thing. And I hate to say this because I ranked them 2 spots. The Bulls are going to be an exciting team, I think. Mid-end season, they're going to be fun to watch. Now, when it comes to playoff, I don't know about this team because
they might be first-round exit.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of leaning. And I almost feel like it's the Charlotte thing. Like, I think Charlotte in the season is going to be good. They're going to be ahead most time, just basically a train just running forward, but when they hit diversity, I don't know how these 2 teams are going to respond. That's my only fear on this. But I do like your ranking, obviously, because that's where I have them. I don't know how people could have them higher, though. Do you think people really got Bulls being higher?
Some people do, but I personally disagree just because I feel like, even though they are playing well in this preseason, I feel like there are going to be stretches in the season where they do struggle. Because here's the thing. It is a new team, so the chemistry may not always be there. So that's the reason why. Because here's the thing: Lonzo's a great player. Zach LaVine is a great player. DeMar DeRozan is a great player. Vucevic is in my opinion, one of the top centers in the league. Even though they are all great, we've always seen great teams when they first come together kind of struggle. Like we've seen it when LeBron went to Miami. We've seen it with other teams as well. So just because
to Cleveland when the LeBron went to Lakers.
True. That is true. That is definitely true. So it may look good on paper, but then again, it's like, once you actually go out there on the floor and you actually got to compete, sometimes it can be difficult.
Mm-hmm. Rob's got a comment in here for us. Knicks are going to be back and with a stronger and retooled roster. Rob, I think you.
I agree that the Knicks are going to be good. I definitely agree to that, but the East is too tough to me. Oh, that's the thing.
Like, the Knicks are probably going to be the hardest person to actually, or team to actually rank on this. Like, I put them at 9, you put them at 8, but we wouldn't be surprised if they ended up 4. Well, I won't say. I'll say 5. I have them probably.
Honestly, unless some of these teams deal with a lot of injuries, I don't see them getting anywhere above 8.
Above 8? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm with you because we have them at 9 and 8 here, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up being like that. Like last year, it shocked us all that they did that. This year, I think we'd be like, okay, this is the same Knicks. They kept it together. Like, we're almost expecting them to just be worse than what they were.
Well, my thing is about New York is that they're definitely going to bring a defense because here's like Tom Thibodeau preaches defense, so they're definitely going to bring a defense, especially once Mitchell Robinson comes back healthy, and even then they still have Nerlens Noel, to protect the paint. So New York is going to bring it defensively, but I feel like even though they have some good weapons offensively, they don't match up with a lot of teams like Brooklyn or Milwaukee or even Atlanta, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. You know what? Before we go on, because we've got them on, let me bring in another little sponsorship that we have. I say little, but guys, if you're old like me and you've got cramps and aching bones when you wake up in the morning, go to rxhemp.com and use promo code rxhemp/ or that's a dash. I always say that wrong. -USN. rxhemp-USN. I don't know why I just brain froze right there on that. But anyways, it's the CBD cream. We've got the cooling, the heating. As I always think of when I talk about the RX Hemp, I think of Garrett when he told us in the chat he was trying it. He rubbed it on his hamstring, but it never felt anything, so he put way too much. And when he put his pants back on, then he felt everything, and it got a little bit higher, if you know what I mean. So be careful with it. Use it responsibly. But, yes, go to rxhemp.com and use promo code rxhemp/USN. All right. I kind of don't want to go straight 5-1 here.
What do you do, like 5-3 maybe?
How about we just 5-3. Let's do this. Let's do 5 and 4.
Okay.
Well, if we just do the 2, we'll know who it is. So yeah, let's go 5-3, and then we'll do 2.
I was gonna say let's go back and forth for these last 5. Like I do 5, you do 5, 4, 4. Okay.
At 5. I felt like they should have been a drum roll right there. At 5, I have the Sixers.
Oh man, I agree.
Good. Let me write that down. Because honestly, as sad as it is, as I write that down, I don't know if they're going to be able to get rid of Ben. And I hate to say it that way because the more and more we talk about Ben Simmons, the more I'm actually starting to like him a little bit. And I've badmouthed him so much because he is an elite defensive player. Any team in the league would love to have him just for his defense. But when he's in Philadelphia, he's not a shot. He's not a shooter, really. We know that. And with Embiid down there, I just feel like that flow of those two together hurts his game. If you take Embiid out of this and put in someone else, like even if they were to be able to have, I'm trying to think, who's a big man that would be great? Steve Adams. If they had like a big man like that, and of course they would have to have another 3-4-2 or one that was way a superstar on the team. I think Ben would be good on this team. But I just feel like this team clashes with those two. Like Ben can't drive in the lane because Joel Embiid's already there, and it's just clogging the lane.
But that's the thing that I kind of disagree with you on. When you say Steve Adams, because Adams is kind of a guy that possibly play like that same role as a B. Being under the basket. Because here's the thing, like Steve Adams can't make 3, so it's like like Ben needs a guy that's going to stretch the floor because he loves to attack. So right. We even saw it last year in New Orleans, like like when Zion, because Zion loves to attack the paint too, and then you even saw Steven Adams kind of clogging the paint as well. So I feel like if Ben can team up with anybody, it has to be more of a stretch big. And that's also another reason why I feel like him and B don't fit as well, because even now, with Doc Rivers, I even mentioned last week, like Doc kind of utilized Embiid more in the post. That was why Embiid had a pretty solid year. Because if you look at seasons prior to last year, I'm not saying Embiid was more of a stretch big, but Embiid took a lot more threes in the past few years than he did last year.
Oh, yeah.
So now going into this year with Doc had him more, working around the post and around the mid-range. It did kind of take a lot away from Ben's aggressiveness just because, what I'm saying, like he couldn't really attack the basket. So it's like, I agree that the Sixers will be a 5th seed, but I feel like, in my opinion, the reason why I feel like they will is because without Ben, I feel like they're going to be worse. So let's say, for instance, that, we go through this whole first half of the season and Ben Simmons is still with the team, but he's not playing. I feel like that's really going to hurt them because they can't make a trade happen. And alongside of that, Ben's not going to play because, he's already made it clear that he doesn't want to play for them ever again. So, we understand that Ben Simmons is not a great shooter, but here's the thing, like, he brings so much more to the table as far as, like, being able to run the floor, being able to distribute. His awareness his IQ is one of the best in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
And then not mentioning his defensive instincts as well, being able to guard all 5 positions. In my opinion, you don't really have that on the Sixers outside of Ben Simmons. Like, so you don't have another playmaker like Ben Simmons on the Philadelphia 76ers. So who's going to be your playmakers? Who's going to be your playmaker? Seth Curry? You know what I'm saying? Seth Curry's good, but Seth Curry's not known for that.
As Rob said, Maxey, another Kentucky boy.
Maxey's solid. Maxey's definitely solid.
Now, I do want to back up just a little bit. When I said Adams, to me, I wouldn't play him on the post like, hey, give me the ball and play like an Embiid style.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Without question.
What I was thinking, like, okay, Ben's got the ball. Adams come up, set the pick and roll lob. That's opening that middle more there. If Adams is kind of rolling around, not even looking to catch the ball, just setting picks everywhere, I think that would open up the middle more for Ben on that. That's where I was going with that. But totally, if Sam Adams has his back to the goal and like they're running the plays through Embiid or through Adams like Embiid, obviously that's not going to work. It's the same
definitely. I agree. But then again, it's like I said, I think Ben Simmons, we get it. He did not play well in that game 7. We understand that wholeheartedly.
Didn't he airball a free throw?
I don't. Giannis, yeah, it might have been Giannis. I don't remember Ben airballing a free. He might have in the past, but I don't remember him airballing one of that game 7 per se. But I'm not gonna lie, like it's so crazy. Like whenever you go on Twitter and you see that picture of him having like that wide open dunk, and Trae Young's right there, and then he just passes it off. It just looks so embarrassing for him. I kind of feel bad for him, but then again, I don't. But I feel like Philadelphia needs to make a trade soon. I don't know if they can pull it off, but they need to at least make a trade at least before Christmas, because I feel like if you don't make a trade and you continue to have Ben Simmons on the roster, he's not playing, I feel like it's going to hurt them. So in my opinion, if they do have Ben Simmons on the court with them, they are a top 3 seed in my eyes. But I feel like without him, I just don't know how good this team will be. So that's honestly why in my opinion I have him as the 5th seed.
Okay, I'm with you, and I do think with my heart they'll actually make a trade at some point, some way. Like, there's no way you're just going to have Ben not actually playing with you and you're paying him. Like, of course, I'm talking about where he won't get paid. But
I don't know if they're paying him. Are they?
Personally, if I was Ben Simmons, I would play and I would just suck. I want that dough. I want that green, as they say. I would go out there and be like, hey, I'm in the game. Let me just shoot the 3. I'll just airball everyone. Okay, now I'm riding the pine and I'm still getting paid. That's what I want, Like, if he's really this far off of where he's going to say, I'm not playing, I'm not taking a check because I don't want to play here, just go out there and Randy Moss it like he did when he played for the Raiders. Can we just do that where you actually dress and you go out there? Did I really just do that? I'm so sorry, Randy. But you definitely did take a couple seasons off while you were in Oakland. Just throwing that out there. Not the best wide receiver. We had that debate in our chat the other day. It is Jerry Rice. Anyways,
honestly, just going to the season out of shape, because I remember even last year, James Harden had requested a trade before the beginning of the year, and he came into he came into the season out of shape with a belly, and he still was dropping triple doubles, which is freaking crazy to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just shows how good he is. But here's the thing: like, Harden did what he had to do. He requested, or I want to say like the day before, he basically said that the team is just not good, and then the next day they traded him. So if Ben has to do something of that caliber to get himself out of there, which I don't know what happened, because Philadelphia, the front office is pretty stubborn in my opinion. Like, but if he can really push them to make a trade happen for him, then it may just happen. But I'm hoping that Philly can make a trade at least before Christmas. Christmas.
Oh yeah. Like, I don't know why any player would ever set out if you're not going to get paid. Like, you're hurting yourself in my eyes. Like, you're not hurting the organization.
That's why I'm hoping like he has a savings account that's like just loaded up or something.
There was something that was saying that he may not be able to hold out too much longer because of money. Like,
but that's the thing though as well, because here's the thing: like, he's gonna get fined for every game that he doesn't play, and then on top of that, you're not even gonna get paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, just play, dude. Like,
I know. Like, honestly, because honestly, it's not going to look good for you financially in my eyes.
How hilarious would it be if this was like the biggest conspiracy ever happened? Like the very first play, Ben Simmons goes in for a layup, lands perfectly fine, but says, "Oh, I rolled my ankle. I'm out like 6 weeks now. I've got a torn Achilles." And they're like, "No, our doctors here in Philly are saying this. I have my own doctor, and I feel like I need to trust my doctors." And
pull a Kawhi.
Yeah, it's broken 5 different places, and it's my finger, even though I'm talking about my ankle here. It just, because then he would be paid, right?
Technically, yeah. Honestly,
so,
he definitely will.
Ben, I know your basketball IQ is there. It's elite compared to others. Man, just go out there and play and fake an injury, man. I did it many times. I'm obese. Like, to go out there, got it. I once, no joke, in high school, we were running suicides for conditioning, obviously, and my shoelace broke. And I had to sit out.
Sit out.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yep, sometimes they just break. All right, so we're at 5. Let's just recap real quick. You have Pistons, Magic, Cavs, Wizards, Pacers, Raptors, Hornets, Knicks, Celtics, Bulls, and Sixers, and that's up to 5. I've got Magic, Pistons, Cavs, Wizards, Raptors, Pacers, Knicks, Celtics, Hornets at 7. Come on, people, give me some love on that. Bulls and Sixers to finish it out. So here's where it gets interesting, and here is probably where we're different because I love my team and I am homering it up and I don't care. Who you got for 4?
Number 4, I have the Miami Heat. I have Miami. Miami is gonna look. I love Miami this year. I understand. It's preseason. Let's not get too caught up in preseason.
Yeah. It's preseason.
Let's not get too caught up. But for these last few games, they look pretty solid. I mean, Jimmy Butler's going to come back a monster, in my opinion. They got Kyle Lowry, which I think is going to be a huge addition to their team. Obviously, they got
Robin.
Honestly, and then not to mention they got Bam Adebayo. I predict Tyler Hero is going to have a really good year as well. I feel like coming into the season, he's going to be focused. He's going to be more engaged. I feel like he's going to have a really solid season. So when you look at their depth and the top guns, I feel like Miami's going to, in my opinion, they're going to make the conference finals this season somehow or some way.
Okay, so you're ranking them at 4, but you still think they're going to make it to the conference final?
Definitely.
I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I'll take them, ranking them at 15, but they go to the NBA finals. I'll accept that. So at 4, I have the Hawks.
Okay.
I love the team, and towards the midseason when they made the coaching change and Trey, actually, I'll even back it up farther. Honestly, it's probably more of the playoffs when I fell in love with Trey and his game. Like, I was a hater for a little bit, but watching it live and seeing how it's going, it's like, okay, this dude's legit. Like, you have to like him. But I still going to have to put him at 4. I've got to see them do it again before I can rank them higher. It's kind of like what I did with the Knicks. I think they can do it, but I've got to respect it and bring it back just a little bit. So I've got them at 4.
All right, I'm not mad at that because they are definitely my number 3.
Okay, well, 4-3, right?
Yeah. So definitely Atlanta's my number 3, and I get your point. You know what I'm saying? Like, can they do it again? In my opinion, I don't think they make the conference finals again. I definitely think that they can make second round, but I feel like considering the run that they had. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're going to be able to at least capitalize off of that in the regular season. Trey Young's going to come back a monster. John Collins is going to come back. You still got guys like Clint Capella, Kenya, or McConville who's going to be able to protect the rim. Mm-hmm. Then you also got guys like DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish is also going to have a good year. Kevin Huerter. So the Hawks are pretty. The thing about the Hawks that's so unique to me is that they have great outside shooting, and then they got great interior defense as well. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when you combine those two, they're going to have a really solid year. And let's not also forget to mention they did a really good job in the NBA draft. They drafted Jalen Johnson in the first round. And then they got Sharif Cooper as well, who in my opinion is going to be a really great addition as far as being a playmaker in the second unit. So I feel like Atlanta as a team is going to be so. I get it, they are still young. Let's not forget that they are still young. But I feel like considering, the run that they had, they're going to be able to capitalize it. And plus Nate McMillan is such a tremendous coach. He's going to have them ready every night.
Well, I have them at 4 because I just feel like, and it's probably really me just reaching on this because I want to rank my other teams higher. But, they made the midseason coaching change. A lot of teams never really had them a lot of time to adjust and see what the kind of playing style. They've had the offseason where they can kind of look more into Atlanta and make their adjustments now. Again, like I said, I'm probably reaching a little bit. My number 3 team is Milwaukee Bucks.
Wow. Okay.
And here I'm going to say this. Congratulations, Milwaukee, for winning your ring. Kudos to you. I will not put an asterisk by it like I did with the Lakers for the shortened season. But a lot of injuries played in their favor. And I'm not saying that to badmouth them, but a lot of injuries
That's true.
move their way in. And the reason why I keep iterating that is I don't want to say that I'm taking it like they shouldn't deserve it because injuries is a part of the game, but that definitely helped their way. Like Kevin Durant, if he had a 2-inch smaller foot, they don't have a ring. So I'm going to put them at 3.
Not even to mention if they had Kyrie.
Yeah. Like they only had a one-headed dragon when there's 2 other ones that were just hurt. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's still, and I hate to do it because they won the title last year, but I feel like this is their spot at number 3 because at number 2, my Miami Heat has such a thick bench that I just think this team's going to be great. Like it doesn't, and just the mindset that Miami has that we've seen in the past couple of years, like they don't care who the man is. They're committed to it. Like they want, and I hate to use the word, they want the dog attitude, as everyone says, because I just feel like that's kind of a disrespectful way of saying something. But I just think Miami has just got this mentality where everyone's out to get them. And, we see this all the time, like Kentucky against the world. Like, I really feel like they've bought into that mindset, like Miami against everyone. This is where you want to be. Pat Riley is going to pay whoever he's got to get them there, and he's done it. He's got a great lineup. And like I said earlier, Lowry is a wonderful Robin. Like, I'll never forget the Toronto's parade that they had, and Lowry was just looking at Kawhi like he was ready to kiss him and just say thank you so much. Just up there smiling so big, like he was doing everything he could to try to get Kawhi to come back, and he's going to go down there and just do the exact same thing to Jimmy Butler and be like, I love you so much, man. You carry me to the finals. And Bam is going to be an all-star again. Bam has only increased every year. I think he'll have a little bit better of an outside shot. And Bam is really, I think, one of the most underrated players. Yes, he's a Kentucky boy.
Definitely.
And yes, I'm probably homering him a little bit, but Bam is just awesome. I don't know how to say this. I'm trying to think. I'll say the diversity that he can actually provide all over as far as defense. He can guard, my opinion, 1 through 5. And be respected guarding them.
Oh, yeah, without question. Definitely. Oh, my God. Bam. I don't know what makes Bam so underrated, though, because here's the thing. Like, it's not just his defense. Like, honestly, you can put Bam at point guard sometimes because Bam can handle the ball. He may not be. Yeah. Like, he may not be, like, a really good shooter, but here's the thing. Like, he has such an attack mindset, and he's able to, like, contributed in a multitude of ways. I just really don't understand how he's so underrated. Like in my opinion, he should have been an all-star this year. He should have been an all-star this year. No, he wasn't. He ended up getting snubbed, which is still kind of crazy to me because
I thought he got an all-star. Are you sure?
No, I want to say he got snubbed. Hang on. We'll look it up.
I want to say he didn't make it at first. Well, maybe it was he didn't make it and the injury allowed him to be in it because I'm pretty sure he was an all-star. But while you're looking it up,
yeah, he was only an all-star for 2020. He didn't make it in 2021.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this, and it might be very bold, but I'm going to say it. If I had to pick between 2 players, I would put Bam over Ben Simmons.
Oh, God. I'm not getting into that. They're going to kill me.
So you disagree with me? Because are they not kind of the same player?
They are, but I think Ben is a little more elite. Because here's the thing, like, if Ben Simmons had a jump shot, he would be a superstar in my eyes. Because
absolutely,
what other weakness does Ben Simmons have other than shooting? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons can play defense. Ben Simmons can run the floor. He can distribute. I'm not saying that Bam is great because I believe that Bam is definitely great, but I feel like Simmons can do things at like a little bit of a higher level. Now, in my opinion, who's the better interior defender? Bam, without question. But I feel like Ben is more elite when defending at least guards 1 through 5. Because I mean, it's kind of like we say. I mean, Bam can guard multiple positions 1 through 5. But who would you rather have guarding the point guard? Would you have Ben Simmons or Bam Adebayo?
Well,
if you had a switch.
But if you use that, I mean, who would you rather guard the 5? You know, I mean, it's
That's true. That is true. But
Bam.
I just feel like Ben could guard multiple positions just a little bit better than Bam could.
It's going to go almost, this discussion would be like, see, I think Shaquille O'Neal is by far superior than a lot of players. Like I always said, if I had to start a team, if Michael Jordan wasn't available, I would probably go Shaq just because of the dominance that he had on that.
Definitely.
It's almost Shaq is in the same way with Bam here. It's like, he doesn't get the present or the, I won't say casual fan because I'm not calling you a casual fan, so don't think that. He doesn't get noticed because the ball's not in his hand as much.
That is true. That is definitely true.
I think that automatically brings him down some. But if you think about it, I've got a kid screaming. I don't know if you heard that.
I did.
Okay. They're 4-year-olds. I have 3 4-year-olds right now, and they're in the room across the hall. So it happens. But I just feel like Bam, and even like you said, I mean, he can run point. He's actually won one of the skills challenge in the All-Star break.
That's true.
So he's got the ability. He just never has had to do it. And, I'll say this, Ben, when he does it, he looks more flexible, more agile. But Bam can do it, I think. So I'm going to stick to that. Bam is better than Ben. Ooh, that's an alliteration there. So he is my number 2 as I went on that little kick there. So you still disagree with me, but you respect it a little bit because you're like, I don't agree with you, but I can see where you're coming from on this.
I can understand it, but I'm not going to lie, man. I like Ben. I'm super high on Ben because I know what he's capable of becoming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we get it. The jump shot is not there, but my thing is Ben Simmons can shoot jump shots. Ben Simmons can shoot jump shots. I mean, look, we've seen it too many times in these summer workouts, etc. Mm-hmm. Ben has the capabilities of becoming a good shooter, but he just won't do it. Now, I will say, like, who's better confidence-wise and who's more in attack, I will say Bam. Because Bam is always in attack mode whenever I'm watching him play. So I definitely agree with you on that. But I just feel like Ben Simmons is superstar potential, in my opinion. Bam could be up there. Bam, in my opinion, is all-star, but I don't know if he's up there as far as superstar. You know what I mean?
Bam is only not a superstar because he did not come in with the hype. I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm doing it. If Bam would have been in the hype of Ben Simmons, everyone would love Bam too. Like, Ben was supposed to be the next LeBron James. So that's where we already have him. Like, he could be bad and people would still be like, he's elite. Like, he's supposed to be there. He's like, Ben could probably not play next year half the season because he probably won't. And he'll still probably make all-star votes. Like, he'll lead up there in the all-star votes. It's all about advertising a little bit.
All right, so let me ask you something. Like, who would you pick? Or like,
Bam.
Who do you think is a better player, Bam or De'Aaron Fox? I feel like they're both in that same same pedestal.
I would say
2 Kentucky guys.
Right. I would say Fox because the ball's in his hand more. Like, anytime the ball is in your hand more, instantly you think they're better. It's just the way it is. Like, who was better, Shaq or Penny Hardaway when they were healthy?
Or actually, how about this, Bam or DeAndre Ayton?
I would say Bam.
Okay.
I really would. Just because I see, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched a ton of Phoenix because they're never on TV. Me being East Coast, I see a little more of Miami games anyways. Yeah. But Bam is a little more agile than Ayton is. Now, do I think Ayton can take this step and continue this with Chris Paul? Absolutely. But Bam,
now it's without a question that Bam is a way better defender than DeAndre.
That's where I was going. Like, Bam. This is what blows my mind. And I'm sorry we went off on this Bam conversation, which I love anyway. Bam was on top of the 2-3 when Miami was playing a 2-3 for a while.
That's true.
Like, you tell me another big that's going to do that. There's not one.
It's tough, but it's so tough because I love Bam. I love Bam, but
Bam is a true big man that can still play.
Okay, so let's say this. Like, let's say Jimmy Butler's not on this team, Kyle Lowry's on this team. Do you think Bam gets that respect then?
I think so. So. Don't you?
Because I agree, but it's just so tough for me to like really see him as like being in like that conversation as like a LeBron or KD or Steph Curry type. Like, you know what I mean?
He'll never be in that conversation.
Like, and that's the thing, because I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people that put Ben in that conversation. In my opinion, he's not there. In my opinion, he has potential to be there, but there's a lot of people that do put Ben in that same category as like a superstar talent, as like LeBron, KD, Steph, Kyrie, etc.
Now, this next year, if we do see, because I don't know why, and even kind of like piggyback on what you said earlier, I don't know why they don't kind of mimic the Golden State offense a little bit when Draymond gets the ball. Just, he takes
They
off
could.
with it.
They honestly could.
I think they'll probably do that a little bit more because last year he made a huge leap, I think, in the offensive side. I think Eric is finally starting to trust him a little bit more and be able to do that with him. So
Definitely.
I look for him to get it and go quite a bit. All-star, MVP. No, I ain't going that far. Here's the thing. Everyone's played the pickup ball where you have that one guy out of nowhere that just doesn't look good. And then he gets the ball in his hand and he's like, okay, how did that go in? Like it don't look pretty. Bam is that guy. Like he's not the flexible, going to go down the lane, pull something out of his rear and make it. Like Bam's just going to say, okay, give me the ball. I'm squaring up. I'll jab one time, take one hard dribble, and I'm just going to yoke it right there.
That's true. I have another one for you. I have another scenario for you. Okay. Is Bam in the same category as Jokic? Jokic is an MVP. Okay. He's a reigning MVP.
I could see Bam playing like Jokic. How about that? Because I think Bam's a good passer too.
Yeah, definitely.
I just don't think they run the offense through Bam enough. Do you agree?
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So I would say yes. The only thing the Joker can shoot the three. Like they respect his shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another one. Like if you ever watch Denver, like when you watch Joker play, it's like, how is this guy doing it? Like, I mean, he has no muscle tone.
He doesn't take things serious at all, man. No.
And he'll catch the ball and just like flop this way and somehow just flip of a wrist and he makes a 15-footer and you're like, really? Okay. Like he's a guy that when he shoots, and I kind of feel like this is with Bam too. Like when you're on the bench watching your team play and he shoots like, that's not okay. Like don't shoot that. And then all right, it goes. So like, okay, I guess this is how he plays.
It's tough, man. I love Bam. Like let me get that out of the way. I love Bam, but I don't know, man. Maybe if he was,
you're hating on him.
Well, I'm not hating on him. Okay, maybe if he was in a different position, like let's say, like the offense didn't really run through guys like Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, the rest of those guys. If the offense just ran through Bam and he was just a monster, like what I'm saying, averaging like 25 or 26 a game alongside 12 rebounds, then maybe I could. But I don't know. It's tough.
So. What do you think? Like, I know you just said that, but like, what is your bottom line that he has to get or average?
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. Like, well, my thing is, in my opinion, he is getting better every single year. So, in my opinion, he will be an all-star this year because I definitely feel like Miami will have a better year than they did last year. So, if he is around like the 22-23 range a game, honestly, in my opinion, then yeah, I feel like he will get the respect that he deserves.
Okay. And see, that's one thing that I'm going to kind of fight for him about is Bam is not a great guy that's going to average 20 points, but he is going to average 10 rebounds, probably 3 steals, a block.
That's true.
He's
that's
those stats.
That's what makes him unique.
Yeah, that's the casual fans that don't see that part of it. It's like, if you don't score 30 points, you're not good. Well, Bam is stealing the ball, blocking the ball, passing the ball, and making like hard picks where he's getting someone else open, and those need kudos points too, but they just don't get them. They're not pretty. They're not.
That is true. And another thing that just came to mind as well, because if you remember, Bam had missed like a good portion of that finals that they made against the Lakers in the bubble. Like a lot of people, I remember a lot of people saying like if Bam would have been healthy, they probably would have won. I don't know if that's true. In my opinion, I disagree. Yeah, like in my opinion, because you still have LeBron James, you still have Anthony Davis, and the rest of those guys. Now, I don't know if they would have won, but I feel like it probably would have definitely been more competitive. It might have won 7 games, in my opinion.
I think it probably would have went farther like that. Now, I'll say this, going with my other Kentucky, Bam, Anthony Davis. I'll have to go Anthony Davis.
Okay. I'm about to say.
Just because one, AD's got the range where he can shoot a 3 and actually be respected.
And AD's also skilled too, the like offensive, like like he can make turnaround jumpers, he can face up, like he can score in a multitude of ways, which I feel like Bam can get there, but he's just not there yet.
Yeah, AD is a point guard that is 7 foot. Like he can play with his back if he wants to down there. He has the agility. He is just, and I wish Bam was a little bit taller. I want to say Bam's like 6'9", like. That hurts him a little bit because you can't really say he is a 5 big man, but then he's also almost too big to play the 4, but he has the ability to move around. So I'm high on Bam. So I would say his physicality hurts him probably a little bit. Like if he was 7 foot doing this, it would be amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because he would be the 5. Like that's why I think Eric. I never can say his last name. Spoelstra. There we go. I think he was a genius when he had Kelly Olynyk on the team, because I almost felt like on offense, Kelly was the 4 because he could shoot the 3, and Bam ran the 5, setting the picks, everything on that. But then on offense, Kelly could guard the 5 and let Bam kind of be able to guard the 4 and switch on picks and everything like that and still be good on that. So I thought that was great that they could intertwine with that, which is why I also think him and PJ will be good, because it's going to be the same way with that. Okay, now that we went about my Heat for 15, maybe probably even 30 minutes, who do you have at number 2?
At number 2, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I get it, they are the champs and everything, but I feel like a healthy Brooklyn is by far a better team, in my opinion. And then the thing about it is, here's the thing. Giannis is the guy. Giannis, in my opinion, should be the number 1 player just because he is the reigning Finals MVP. He just came off of a championship. And not to mention, he had that 50-point explosion in Game 5 that really sealed the deal for Milwaukee. So, obviously, with Giannis being the guy, I think the one thing that I still have concerns about when it comes to Milwaukee is that they don't really have like a true playmaker. I think throughout like all last year, I'm not saying that Drew Holiday is not doing a good job as far as being like that point guard role, but that's not really his game. He's more of like a scoring type defender, like the type of player. So, even though Giannis here's the thing, like Giannis is kind of like Bam in my opinion. Like he can, be able to facilitate, but what I'm saying, you want Giannis to dominate. Like, what I'm saying, you want Giannis to be able to dominate the paint, being able to do what he does best. So I feel like that is one thing that does. But besides that, Milwaukee still has a lot of depth. What I'm saying, they got obviously Chris Middleton's going to come back. Drew, like I said, Brook Lopez. They're going to have Dante DiVincenzo back, Pat Connaughton,
and he was out.
Bobby Portis. Exactly. I think DiVincenzo missed the entire playoffs.
I think so.
Not to mention Bobby Portis, who had a really solid year last year, particularly in the playoffs last year. He killed it last year. So Milwaukee is still going to be a really solid team, but they're not better than Brooklyn healthy. I'm sorry, they're not.
Let's just be honest. Brooklyn's like nobody is better than Brooklyn anytime. Like. That's how good of a team this is. The Brooklyn. I'm already jumped. Obviously, we both have the Nets as number 1.
Yeah.
With this team, you have to pick your poison. Like, who are you going to say, okay, let me shut down Kyrie this game and hope that the other 2 have an off night? Good luck. Okay, this game, let's try to keep Harden from doing anything with his left hand and make him always go right, which he always shoots a jump shot. You can actually watch film on that. If he goes right, he is doing his step-back jump shot. If he goes left, he's shooting a layup.
Yep.
But you're still not going to stop him. And then, what are you going to do? Shut down Kevin Durant? Never seen it done. But if I were to put a scheme against this team, I would try to shut down Kevin Durant. That would be my agenda.
Now, I will admit, though, because here's the thing, like PJ Tucker went to Miami this last year, but in the playoffs, PJ Tucker did a really good job defending Kevin Durant. Like, I think that was probably the first time where I see KD, like I'm not gonna say he was locked down, but he wasn't as effective when he was guarded by PJ Tucker.
I also think, and I'm not here to say refs or anything because I will never say refs cheated for him. I hate that. That's a cop out for anyone who says it. Grow up and say, "Hey, we lost and we should play better."
That's a fact.
But I also think PJ got away with a lot of pushing and shoving.
Oh yeah, he definitely did, without question.
But it's playoffs. It's playoffs. I had a referee once. I looked at him and said, "Dude, he's pretty much riding me like Seabiscuit, the horse." And they said, "Do it back. It's playoffs." I was like, "Okay, like I don't know how you don't call a foul as a ref, but okay, so I guess they're going to let us play. You just got to adjust." And I think they did. But all right. Anything else you want to say about the Nets and how they're going to go undefeated for the whole year?
Well, the thing about it is that even though I do have them at number 1, they could possibly slide just because I don't know if they're going to like do the same scenario last year where it was like KD missed a ton of games or rested a ton of games. I know he was also injured as well, but there were a lot of games that they just missed just because, so I don't know if Steve Nash is going to do that, let KD rest a few games, let Harden rest a few games. We don't know, what the future holds for Kyrie as far as, he is projected to play half the season because, he's not going to get the vaccine. So we don't know what's going to happen as far as that. So not saying that, without KD and Harden that, that they're not they're not going to get the job done. But obviously if they have Kyrie, for a full 82 game season, they're just going to be unbeatable. But the thing about it is that, will they really care enough to really get that best record in the league? So even though I do project them to have the best record, because in my opinion, outside of the big three, they have a really good depth. They just got LaMarcus Aldridge back. They signed Patty Mills. They still got guys like Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, Nick Claxton. So they have a pretty solid group. Oh, not to mention Blake Griffin as well. So there's the thing, Brooklyn has a pretty solid team alongside the big three of Brooklyn. But the thing about it is that do they really care enough to get that first seed? So I think that's also a concern as well.
Kind of like what I've been talking about with the Lakers. I don't think they care about their rankings because they're going to be good.
Definitely.
I think I could see them going down because it doesn't matter who they play in the playoffs. They're still going to be the favorite. They could come in at the 10 spot playing for the play-in games, and they would still be ranked to win it. That would be how it would go with them. So, yeah, I can see him resting. And Kyrie rests a lot. Let's be honest. Kyrie gets hurt a lot and sits out. So,
for air quotes about hurt.
It happens. And I'm growing more respect for Kyrie. I like him. Okay, I'm trying to get there. But the Nets are the best team. I think the Nets are even a far better team than the Lakers.
Oh yeah, without question. Oh my God, without question. I don't know who could disagree with that, to be honest.
Well, a LeBron fan,
definitely.
Perry, where you're at, we know you think the Lakers are by far better.
For all of our unwrapped fans or for all of our unwrapped contributors who are Lakers fans, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron, AD, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo, and the rest of those guys, but. I'm sorry, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, it's game over. All three of those guys together combined with how good the rest of the team is, it's over. I don't know if the Lakers will get to the finals, but let's say for instance that these two do meet in the finals. I think that the Nets win in 5.
Ooh, 5?
The Nets will win in 5, yes. It's just too much. It's too much. It's way too much in my opinion.
I'm just thinking again, I always try to think schemes and stuff like defense. I love sports. I love basketball so much. If you're playing against the Lakers and you have some size, the only one you really, truly have to respect out of the trios is Anthony Davis from deep, as far as the shot. LeBron's got a decent shot, and I just got a notification, Bama did lose. They ended up losing the game. So number 1 is down. So now Kentucky be ranked number 1. We know that. But, LeBron, he has a respectful jump shot, mid-range, or a three-point. But I would be okay with him shooting.
Man.
What?
Oh, no, I was looking at the score of the Bama game. It's crazy.
The one I would respect most is Anthony Davis from the 3. Westbrook, you can shoot all day. If you hit 10 threes in a game against me, we just were going to lose. I love Westbrook. I'm not taking anything from him. But that's how I feel with it. And LeBron, I'm almost the same way. So I would almost pack it in a little bit. Would you? Or do you respect him enough where you're like, okay, we've got to come out here and guard this 3?
Say that one more time. Sorry. I was looking at the score. Sorry. I'm not focused.
Goodness. Come on, co-host.
I know.
I was totally looking at it earlier. But when you were talking about the Bucks, I think I was like, oh, man, this game's almost over. But to me, the only one you respect as far as the three-point line is Anthony Davis. The other two, you can live or die from the 3 with them 2.
Definitely. LeBron is a decent shooter, kind of like you said, but it's also, Russell Westbrook's not the most consistent. I'm not saying that Westbrook can't knock down threes, but he's definitely not as good of a shooter as Westbrook as far as LeBron or AD. So I definitely understand that. But then again, you still got some key snipers on LA. You still got Melo. Right. Melo's going to be a sniper.
I was saying just those trios.
Oh, definitely. So honestly, between those 3, they're definitely not good percentage-wise from 3-point range. Mm-hmm. Not saying that they can't get hot, but it's kind of rare to see Westbrook really get hot and knock down 6 threes in a game, or even LeBron per se. So I definitely agree that the AD is by far the better shooter on this out of those 3.
I'm just going to go ahead and say if my Miami Heat makes it to the finals, they might play a 2-3 against the Lakers. Just saying it. Just throwing that out there. I do, and again, I know
it makes sense.
I know I'm a Kentucky homer. I understand that. But I'm excited to see how Monk plays this year The dude can flat out score. I will never forget.
I didn't want him to leave Charlotte. You know
I didn't either. I didn't either, but it was time for him to go. This team's moved on, and he's just kind of an afterthought with that team. But I won't forget the time when we played North Carolina in Vegas in some casino. Like they made a court, which is crazy enough. And we scored. It was like 94-90 of a game, and he had like 30 or 40 points, like out of nowhere. If he catches fire, and it don't take much to get him hot, just watch out. Hey, look who we got here. Brooklyn Nets, number one. The rest of the East can figure themselves out, honestly. You're right. Even the West Coast got a point.
But that's the thing, Amber. If you're still listening, do they care to have the number one seed?
Right. That's kind of something we talked about. And hello to you, Amber. I know you've probably
because Kate. Yeah, definitely. Hello to you, Amber. We miss you. Come back, please. Hopefully soon. But kind of like I said, I mean, KD, does he care? Like, you know what I'm saying? Will KD play all 82? Will Harden not rest some games? We obviously know that, you know, Kyrie is predicted to play half the year. So does Brooklyn really care to have the number one seed?
Looking at our lists, if the league actually finished or the ratings finished the way we have, if the Nets did fall to second place, I mean, to me, well, they got the playing games. I can't really do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'd have them at 7 playing the Hornets. You would have them playing Celtics. Like, I mean,
you talking about as far as the 2 seed or 3 or 1 seed?
Yeah, if they were the 2 seed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So well, I mean,
they'd be in the same position as last year, Boston and Brooklyn, and we already know how that goes.
And even if they went to the 3 seed, we both have them playing the Bulls. Like, I mean, I don't see that team having a chance.
To be honest, honestly, the Bulls might be able to push them 6 games. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just being too high on Chicago, but I really like their team, honestly. They might be able to push them 6 games.
You think?
I don't know. I'm loving – then again, it's just me getting too hyped from preseason. For goodness sake. But I love how this team is working right now.
Right. Let's see here. Amber says the Bulls might shock some people this year.
I agree. Lonzo looks fantastic. Oh, my God. Lonzo looks so good.
I'm not a big Lonzo fan just because he's UCLA and UCLA Kentucky at the time on that. But that's De'Aaron Fox is a much better player than Alonzo. But I'm happy that he's actually on a team where there's not going to be pressure on him. Like, you know,
oh, yeah, definitely.
So I hope he has a good year. His younger brother's playing better than him right now, so he better. No, Nick, not 6. Stop watching preseason games. Amber, what do you got the Bulls?
I can't help it. I miss basketball. I can't help it.
Listen, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, we're supposed to be dramatic. That's why we get viewings on this, you know? I actually think the team that I could see surprising a lot is the Hornets. I'm really big on them. Of course, you have them at 9, and I've got them ranked at 7. I could still see them being up towards 6 a little bit. And I love it. Like, this is what we're supposed to do. This is why it's the preseason. Let's get excited about it. Amber, we know that you have Cavaliers, and I'm just going to go ahead and break your heart because you're just now joining us.
I think we both had them at like 13, wasn't it?
13. We both had them at 13. We know you have them at the play-in game.
I'm sorry, Amber, but the East is way too tough. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's way too tough this year.
Yes.
I love Garland. I love Colin Sexton. I'm not gonna name them the nickname that whoever gave them that. I'm not saying it, but I love Garland. I love Sexton. I love Evan Mobley, who in my opinion is definitely gonna be a Rookie of the Year candidate. I even love Jared Allen, but them over like a lot of these teams like Indiana, Toronto, Charlotte. Nah, it ain't happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now they are over Orlando and Detroit, so I will give you that.
I mean, good job, good job. But yeah, we love you, and Amber.
And plus the problem with Cleveland is that they've shown that they really don't want Sexton. Like they were looking at trade possibilities in this past offseason. So for him to even still be with the team, in my opinion, is shocking to me as well. So I mean, it really shows that they really don't want him and. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if he'll even be a Cav even after this year.
Oh yeah, like we know that the Cavaliers are probably not going to be the 10th spot. Sorry, Amber, and they probably will shop him very soon. I think.
But then again, I mean, Amber does have a point though. Injuries might happen, so I mean, you know, it's and that's the thing though, because I mean, we make our projections based off of all health. So like, you know what I'm saying? So for instance, like, you know what I'm saying, KD, Kyrie, and Harden could all get injured at the same time. And the next, you know, Brooklyn falls to a 7 seed. So you know what I'm saying? You just never know. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you never know. Anything can happen. So I mean, if let's say for instance, like you know, Indiana has injuries, Charlotte has injuries, Toronto has injuries. Cleveland might have a shot at, you know, moving up, but I don't know.
Well, listen, I understand the injury thing, but we can't predict that, you know? Like, even Cleveland has injuries. Even if the Nets have injuries, we still know they're going to be in the top 3. Let's be honest with this team.
Yeah.
This team is loaded.
I know y'all hate me for like keep going on preseason, but I'm telling y'all, man, Chicago looks good. They look good.
Miami, I think, is undefeated, so
I believe so as well. I know they beat Houston the other night.
Mm-hmm. Let's throw in one more promo real quick, guys, and this is the one that I think is the most important. Go to patreon.com/unwrapsports. You guys by now know what Patreon is. I'm an old geezer. I didn't know what Patreon was even about until probably 3 years ago. But it definitely helps show your support to us, as I'm struggling to speak here. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes now. But we've got 3 different tiers that you can be a part of our Unwrapped Sports Network. $1, I think, is the first tier, where it basically just says that you're a fan and it helps us out. Every dollar does count. We do this for free. The Patreon helps us all get paid. And when I say us, it's not just me and Nick. We probably, in our basketball chat that we were just talking about earlier, we have 45 people. I think it was 44 people that are in there. So the bread's got to go a lot of places, and we need more than $1. So everyone join in. We have the second tier. It's $5. I think it's part of the family. It gives you different things that we have going on. We've got the Discord chat where you can be a part of it. And the only thing I don't like about with the $5 a month donation is you can just see our chats. You can't really get involved with us. But we do have a teespring.com/stores/unwrapped where you can get into the merch that we have, and you actually get a 10% off your purchase. Now, the reason why I go ahead and throw that in, because our third tier, which is the VIP, which is $10 a month, gets you 20% off to the, I'll throw it up here real quick, bam, teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. You'll get 20% off your entire purchase. So we definitely try to push for you to do the $10 per month, just because you get that extra bonus. And also the main bonus is each month we do a giveaway. Some type of memorabilia. We've had a Ricky Williams miniature helmet autographed. We've had a Keenan Allen signed jersey that I think actually Amber won. We've had a David Montgomery jersey, I think, for Chicago. So we've had a lot of stuff that we're giving away. And we're still new with this Patreon. I think we're about 4 or 5 months in. So the numbers aren't as big as we hope for. So you have a better chance of winning that. So join that right now.
Let's keep it going.
And be a part of the family. Nick, you got anything else? I mean, we're almost an hour and 20 minutes here, and we've done really good.
The Bulls look great.
Amber had a comment, didn't she? I didn't get her comment in here. So, does Chicago make the top 10? And if so,
yes. They're number 6 in my opinion.
Yeah, both of them. We had it.
There is no way this Bulls team is not making top 10.
For Amber and everyone else that have joined in late, I have my list here, and I will read you our list. We'll start with Nick from 15, Pistons, Magic, Cavs, Wizards, Pacers, Raptors. That's 15 through 10. For me, I've got Magic, Pistons, Cavs, Wizards, Raptors, Pacers. So we flipped Magic and Pistons and Raptors and Pacers. From 9 up to 5, I have the Knicks. At 8, I have the Celtics. 7, I have the Hornets. 6, I have the Bulls. And 5, I have the Sixers. Nick at 9 has the Hornets and the Knicks. At 8, 7 at Celtics. 6 with me has the Bulls, and the Sixers at 5 with me as well. 4 to 1, I've got Hawks, Bucks, Heat, and then the Nets. Nick has Heat, Hawks, Bucks, and Nets. So we differ a little bit in our top 4, which I'm kind of happy because I'm being bold with my Heat, really. Absolutely love them. Let us know if you like that, Amber, where you disagree with us, but we're about done with this show, so you better talk pretty quick.
Definitely.
Nick, anything surprising as far as – you know what, real quick, because I know you've been watching more preseason than I have. Who do you think is going to be the most improved this year? Or do you have an answer on that? Because that's kind of a very broad question right now. Do you have anyone hot takes as far as that?
You guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but Lonzo, if he has a good year, if he has a solid year, I'm not saying have like spectacular numbers, but with the way that he's shooting, if he could shoot at least in the 40% from the field, and then obviously his defense and his facilitating is able to really elevate the Bulls, I could see him winning it. But then again, I mean, it's kind of tough because I feel like you have other guys that are just gonna have a really solid year as well. But I think Lonzo will be my vote as far as most improved.
Honestly, that's a very good candidate, I think, for it because usually, I mean, Julius Randle, who led
Julius Randle,
last year, I mean, that's kind of going to be the same situation for him. Like Alonzo's going to get a lot of opportunities with the ball. Like honestly, in my head, I think he should average close to a triple-double every game, especially with this team on there. So I think that's actually a really good pick. I'm trying to think someone else in my head who's moved that has a better opportunity.
It's really tough though because I mean, here's the thing: like who went into last year thinking that Julius Randle was going to win it? Like nobody. Right. Like that's the thing. So it's like it's all about who's going to really stand out from the beginning of the year and like just keep it going from the throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, Amber, you got to go back and listen to our show. We went on a 30-minute discussion about Bam. I love this answer. But to me, it's not most improved. Like he is
like that's the thing. Though, like what I'm saying, like Bam hasn't really gone through like adversity like that. Like what I'm saying, like when you look at like the past like most improved players, like even like Julius Randle, in my opinion, like everybody like will talk about his lack of ability like to really progress. So that's why honestly, like when he had such a good year, that's why people loved him and picked him as the most improved player. Even Lonzo throughout like his first few years in the league, like people were really calling him a bust and saying that, talked about his jump shot and talked about, his lack of assertiveness. So if he comes into this season more engaged, more assertive, and, and has a pretty solid year, then I feel like he'll be most improved player. So Bam, I mean, I'm not mad at the Bam pick, but I just feel like, people respect Bam and, really respect his game. So if he does take a leap this year, I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't know if he'll be most improved.
The only way that I think Bam could win it is if he actually plays better than Jimmy Butler. Like, that's the guy. That's the only way I think he could win it. I do think he improves, Amber. I'm totally with you on that. But I think he's been a steadily improved guy that it's not going to be like, oh, wow, it's the most improved,
Exactly. And I mean, like, honestly, if you remember last year before they went into the bubble, they put Luka as
that comment.
Who's that? Who's talking about Bam?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely can't shoot. But I mean, honestly, like if you remember last year, the 2019-20 season, they put Luka as a most improved player candidate, and I was like, why? Like I mean, I get it. I get it. He did have a better year in his second year compared to his first year, but I didn't think that he should be like a most improved player candidate, especially over guys like I want to say I can't remember who won it there. I know Devontae Graham was a candidate. Who won it? Who won most improved player in 2020? I cannot remember.
Derrick Rose.
No, it wasn't Derrick Rose. Golly, who won it? Yeah, I don't want to look it up because I feel like I know.
I'm not.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna look it up. Forget it. I can't do it.
But while you look it up, so we just got error here. Here's my two candidates for the most improved, and I'm not going to steal your guy. Ooh, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram. Yep, Brandon Ingram, definitely.
Here's my two candidates. Ben Simmons, most improved.
Most improved.
Hear me out. You're going to understand when I say this. The second candidate is whoever they trade Ben Simmons for will be the most improved. Because the reason why I'm saying Ben Simmons is he's out of Philadelphia and he does good. Or whoever comes in has an ecstatic season with Embiid, who I would like to see CJ McCollum have that chance because I feel like he's always been
I think he won it before.
CJ, oh really?
I think he's won it before. I think like 2016 or 2017 or something like that. Because I know once he was inserted into the starting lineup alongside Damian Lillard, that's when like he really took that leap.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But I do want to say he's already won it.
Well, he could win it again, couldn't he?
I don't think I've ever seen anybody win most improved twice, to be honest.
You'd have to have a pretty bad year, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I've got a list pulling up here for ESPN.com. Let's see here. 2010, it was Aaron Brooks. 2011, Kevin Love. I don't know how Kevin Love wins it. 2012, Ryan Anderson. I remember that because he was with Orlando.
He was with Orlando, yeah.
Yeah. 13 was Paul George. I think it was after he broke his leg, came back. 14 was Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic. 15, Jimmy Butler. 2016, CJ McCollum. Yep. 17, Giannis. 18, Oladipo. 19, Pascal. And Brandon Ingram, and then Julius Randle.
That's so funny how you mentioned Aaron Brooks. I forgot that man even existed. Shout out to Aaron Brooks.
Oh, yeah. Who did he play for? Was it the Bucks?
I know he played for Houston for a little while. I think he played for Phoenix for a little while as well. Honestly, he bounced around a little bit.
Mm-hmm, he did. Let's see.
But
I have to look something else up before we hop off of here.
But but here's the thing. I'm going to dispute the Ben Simmons thing. I'm not saying that he can't win it. But then again, I mean, Ben is also one of those guys. I mean, we get it, the jump. I mean, honestly, I feel like if he does get a jump shot, I think everybody probably will. But I feel like besides that, Ben hasn't really had like a bad year statistically, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? He still has his averages though, so that's why I can't really see him as like being a most improved candidate. And let's not mention, I don't even know how many games he's gonna play this year, so that's why, like, honestly, I don't know if he could possibly win most improved player either for that reason.
So here's some of the bets that's going around, player odds, and I'm not going to say it's like DraftKings, FanDuel, people like this. The best odds for one is Shai Gilchrist. I'm sorry, not Gilchrist. Alexander.
Shai.
Yeah, I said Shai.
For most improved?
For most improved.
Nah, I doubt that either.
Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. can definitely win it.
And then another one has Kevin Porter Jr. and Michael Porter Jr. as the best odds.
I don't know.
I mean, probably a good one. Jamal Murray coming back from his injury, possibly. I don't know if it'd be most improved though, because he was.
Yeah, like I don't know what other people's definition of like most improved player is, but like my opinion, my definition of most improved is if, like, let's say like the past, like the prior years, like 2 or 3 years prior, you just like weren't able to really elevate yourself as a player, and then all of a sudden you come out this season and just like really become a huge factor for your team. That's who I prove as the most improved player. That's why I say Lonzo could possibly be in that candidate, because as we know, Lonzo Ball has struggled throughout his first like few years. So I feel like if he came out this year and had a really good season, then he probably could. Mm-hmm. Same thing with like even Brandon Ingram, who won in 2020. Like, Brandon Ingram struggled a lot. Mm-hmm. He struggled tremendously. I wouldn't say he struggled, but he was really up and down in LA. And then all of a sudden, once he went to once he went to New Orleans, and he averaged 25 points a game. Now everybody gains that respect for Brandon Ingram. In my opinion, Shai, I don't know if Shai can win it though, because Shai just averaged like 23 a game this last year. So,
yeah, I don't see how he can win it, because he has already proved himself, I feel.
Exactly.
Like, here's another list. This has got a list from the same website. It's got SGA as the number 700%, or I haven't said plus 700. I'm sorry, I'm struggling, guys. It's after midnight. But here's an interesting one. Zion they have on there, who I actually think would be a good candidate, because expectations were here, but he's not been there. So,
but I can respect that. He just averaged like 28 a game, or something like that.
But that's still not our expectation of him, right?
But he was still an all-star as well. So I don't know. It's weird.
Michael Porter Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Zach LaVine. I don't see him being the most improved. Sexton, Christian Wood, Jaylen Brown, John Collins, Jaren Jackson Jr. But I'm kind of disappointed.
So Zion this past season averaged 27 points and 7 rebounds. So I don't know how they can really see him as like being like a most improved candidate, unless he comes out the gates averaging like probably 33 a game, maybe.
Right.
But I don't understand.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Here's my pick right now, and I should write it down because this is how good I think it is Kuzma.
Okay, I'm not mad at that,
because
Kuzma could definitely be in that candidacy.
He didn't play most of the year last season, and he averaged 21 points a game. Oh, that's
Shai.
SGA. Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. But yeah, I think Kuzma would be a great candidate for this new fresh start, and I think it'd actually be a better story for a most improved player than some of these other guys that we've
Definitely.
mentioned.
Honestly, I think he needed to get out of LA. He needed to get out of LA badly. I think he was way too distracted. Honestly, because here's the thing, like people forget Kuzma's like first few years in the league, they were great. Like, you know what I'm saying? People were even saying that Kuzma was better than Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and and the rest of those young guys that got traded for Anthony Davis. Then all of a sudden Anthony Davis comes in, and then obviously the Lakers made that coaching change from Luke Walton to Frank Vogel. Now all of a sudden Kuzma's struggling. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was hard for me to understand because Kuz came into the league with such high expectations and then he dropped. So I don't know if maybe there was a lot of pressure playing alongside like guys like LeBron and AD that may have gotten to him, or maybe it's just being a part of just living in LA in general. But I'm glad that now he's in Washington now where he can possibly focus and really elevate his game as a whole.
He will be the third guy in Washington, but I also think that helps relieve some of the pressure. Like when we say third guy in Washington compared to third guy in LA.
So who are the top two? You got Beal. Okay, you have Beal, and then maybe Rui.
Who else did they trade for this offseason?
I know. Besides those, no. They got Spencer Dinwiddie too. I take that back. Spencer Dinwiddie will probably be the number 2 guy. In my opinion, Rui's a better player than Kuzma. So I don't know. But then again, I think Rui's about to miss some time as well. So Kuzma might get the opportunity.
Yeah. I still think Kuzma is going to have a good bounce back year. I think
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Because, honestly, if he does anything, if he averages 15 to 20 points a game with 8 rebounds, I think it's still a great season compared to what we're expecting from him.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I think this fresh slate for Kuzma going to DC, and I think it'll really help him get back in full effect.
I think it's either going to be Kuzma or Lonzo, like you said. I think those are really 2 good picks.
Former Lakers.
Yeah, both of them. Same year? Was it the same year or back-to-back years?
I think they were the same year because I know Lonzo went number 2, and I think Kuzma went like 27. I want to say it was 27.
Well, listen, great show. I think we're an hour and 30 minutes now.
Definitely. I'm hungry. I haven't even made dinner, man. I'm about to have a late dinner.
Oh, goodness. I am so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Guys, everyone, thank you for joining us for Count the Bucket. We appreciate it. Honestly, I haven't talked to you about this, Nick, but I'm wanting to try to start this as a podcast. I don't know why we don't have it as a podcast, but
let's do it.
I think we need to go ahead and start putting this on as a podcast. So be looking for that, guys. We'll try to get that soon. That's another thing I want to talk to Perry about. Great show. I'm going to bed. Amber, thank you so much. And I want you to be proud of me. This is the second show in a row, Amber, that I haven't said anything about a hot guy. I'm trying to work on this because it's weird when I say it to another guy. Like the girl on here, it's fine to say it with. So I'm
we gotta find another female to temporarily replace Amber's spot to diversify it a little more.
Just to be on the show. We won't say replace, Amber. We won't say replace.
Nah, never
just
that.
To come on so we can have those talks. But Nick, you want to drop anything? Your shows, your link tree and all that?
So I am a pretty busy guy as of right now. I don't know why I just keep piling things up for myself, but I just do. So, obviously I am a co-host here on Count the Bucket. I am also a co-host on a podcast titled No Bucks Given, and I am also another co-host on another podcast titled Big Buckets Pod. So make sure to check me out on those. And as you guys know, I write articles all the time on numerous websites.
On you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm the new Amber. I'm the new Amber. You know what I'm saying? I got like 50 jobs. I'm the new Amber. So yeah. So as you guys know, I still write articles on a consistent basis for numerous websites. So make sure to just check me out. Follow me on Twitter at NickAndre8R and just check out the link tree. That's easier. I cannot explain everything. Check out the link tree.
As you can see, again, my name is Michael, and this is MD Lawson00. It's my Twitter, Instagram, and even my TikTok. I'm actually made a friendly bet, a gentleman's bet with Connie, my co-host on Backstop Banter. We're going to see who can get to 100,000 views first on a video. I don't know why I even said that because I'm 35 years old. That's not going to happen. But I thought, maybe I'll do this, what is it, the Mega Knees Challenge and watch it like break. That'll obviously hit for me, right?
By the way, you talking about TikTok?
Yeah. We're trying to see who can get the first video to 100,000 views.
It's honestly so crazy though, because obviously, I'm in my early 20s, so it's like, but it's the thing, I talk with like a lot of people that like I wouldn't say way older than me, but they're older than me. They all have TikTok accounts. Oh, not a problem. Like they all have TikTok accounts. Mm-hmm. I don't have a TikTok account. I don't know why.
Don't you?
I don't know why. I guess I just need to go ahead and make one.
You really do, because honestly, my wife is just a side story here. During the summer, we were swimming at my dad's house, which is mom and dad's, which is seriously probably 300 yards away. They have a pool, so why would we have one that's right there? And she wasn't going to go swimming. When I was swimming with the 4 kids, she's like, well, let me look at your phone because I want to watch some TikTok videos. Okay, sure, And of course, the very first 2 videos were women doing some type of dance. She's like, what do you watch on here? Because I know there's an algorithm that keeps this all together. It's like, keep on watching because I'm sure there's baseball and basketball that's about to pull up and some fishing. She's like, okay, now I'm seeing it. So you can get some pretty good content, actually. There's one guy on here I absolutely love. He drops stuff all the time. It's like the top 10 weirdest situations in sports, and he has the videos go, or the top 10 craziest malfunctions wardrobe in sports. You see all these guys with the wrong names on there. It's actually kind of cool seeing all this stuff. I thought about trying to do that with sports sometimes, like top 10 basketball players, just doing things like that. So you can get some good content, and then also you've got the good content as well.
I definitely need to look into it. I definitely need to go ahead because it's kind of making me feel bad how everybody has a TikTok and I don't. So I'm not getting hype into like the new things.
All I want to say is, if you create a TikTok, you have to at least put one video.
One video,
because if you don't, you're a creeper. I don't care what you say. Listen, it pops up now where there's
how many videos you got?
How many videos I got? I don't have many, and I'm not great on this. 6, 9, 12, 15. I've got.
Because also, that's my thing though. Because everybody does the dances and stuff. Do they have tutorials before you make the video or something like that?
No. Here's one. This is actually Count the Bucket. I took a little thing from YouTube and just did a little funny line that we had put on there.
Oh, really? I see the guarantee.
Yeah, the guarantee, and then some of my backstop banter stuff, and I just kind of put little clips on there.
Definitely.
Which on most of those, I've gotten 600 views on some of those. So I did do this one on my wife, which is hilarious because she loves McDonald's, and the song that I'm playing is about McDonald's. And her face when I brought her a McRib, she loves McRibs.
Wow.
See that? And she didn't kill me. She thought it was hilarious. Now she may kill me since I put it on this, but
she's gonna go on YouTube and watch it and then see it.
My son in slow motion with the little Bow Wow song playing in the background. And then my daughter going next.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and then my littlest, she can't hardly reach it. She's struggling. Oh, finally.
There you go.
So, you can make some cool stuff. Since we had this TikTok promotion. TikTok, you need to be sponsors for us now.
Sponsor Unwrapped.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yes, every Saturday at 10:30 p.m. we have Count the Bucket. I'm also a co-host on Backstop Banner every Thursday, 10 o'clock. I wish we could go a little bit earlier in our shows, but we have other shows that go before us. So we're not completely on time with this 10:30 because Bets Unwrapped, like today, they do every game and talk about every game's bet that they have going on. So sometimes they can be long-winded. Totally understand it. Just bear with us. And you can always check us out on YouTube if you miss our show anyways. So check out Unwrapped Sports on YouTube.
Fact.
And every show there. Nick, anything else?
I think that's it, man. To everybody that watched, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all have a good night.
All right, good night. Have a good one. Oh, I got hit.